On this video, we're exploring the 1989 Monster Party video game for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Monster Party is well known for its parodies of horror pop culture with enemies and locations based on classic horror icons. It also regained fame in the 2000s for the discovery of a prototype that, if released in the United States, would have faced some serious copyright infringements. We're going through all of this on the story of Monster Party the video game. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to keep up to date on my latest videos. Let's get started. Monster Party was created by Japanese video game developer Human Entertainment in 1989. Human Entertainment was known for developing the first music rhythm video game Dance Aerobics in 1987 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. They would also develop some horror video games in the 90s, including the Twilight Syndrome and Clock Tower series. The Monster Party game centers around a boy named Mark who encounters a monster named Bert while on his way home from a baseball game. Bert asks Mark for help in destroying the evil monsters from the Dark World. He tries to convince Mark to help him by explaining that his baseball bat will work great as a weapon. Bert suddenly merges with Mark and they whisk away to the Dark World. The Dark World is filled with many traditional horror enemies and stages, from a man-eating plant to a pumpkin ghost, zombies, spiders, and even the Grim Reaper. There are over 20 bosses in the game, all with horror-style designs. The first level starts out really happy with face-filled blocks smiling back at you. However, partway through the stage, the real Dark World is revealed to be much more sinister and grotesque, with the blocks changing from smiling faces to skulls with blood pouring out. After beating 8 stages, the player faces off against the Dark World Master. Once the Master is defeated, Bert sends Mark home with a box. When he opens the box, out pops the princess, who quickly turns into a monster. As Mark screams, he wakes up in his own bed thinking it was all a dream. Or was it? As Mark is heading out to school, he opens the door and encounters Bert, who's holding a baseball bat, and says to Mark, "Let's go again." It's a decent game that's been remembered over the years for its bizarre premise by both fans and critics alike. Nintendo was very well known for enforcing their censorship policies in the late 80s to early 90s, leaving gamers wondering why Nintendo allowed the large amounts of blood and the use of the word hell to remain in the Monster Party game. The game would become famous once more when screenshots were released of a Famicom prototype known as Parody World Monster Party. This version of the game includes many bosses based on American movie characters and other additional changes. The first noticeable change is the title screen. It was originally blood dripping, but was changed to green slime dripping, and the zombie face was changed to a pumpkin cursor. The first boss in the game is a parody of Andre 2 from the movie Little Shop of Horrors. The room where the boss is located originally had a microphone and an amp, but both were removed in the US version along with one of the lights above the boss. However, the amp was either covered by black pixels or its hitbox was left behind in the game, allowing the player to stand on it. It confused gamers for a long time, but the mystery behind the invisible platform was finally cleared up when the prototype was released. The pumpkin ghost boss in the game was originally an ape riding on a horse with a destroyed Statue of Liberty in the background, clearly a reference to the 1968 movie Planet of the Apes. The boss Medusa was changed from a female to a snake, and the mummy boss was changed to a transparent ghost, possibly to avoid association with the 1932 film The Mummy. The giant spider boss originally had a face for a body. However, it was way too similar to the monster from John Carpenter's 1982 The Thing, and the face was removed. The giant cat boss was originally a mogwai like Gizmo from the 1984 Gremlins movie. and at the start of the boss fight, it would change from a Mogwai into a gremlin. In the prototype version, the Mad Javelin boss's face would change at the start of the fight. However, it was removed in the US version, most likely due to the similarities between the boss and Damjin, which first appeared in the 1966 movie of the same name. The Grim Reaper boss was originally a large robot resembling the alien from the 1979 movie of the same name. The boss originally had face hugger projectiles, but they were replaced with floating heads. The shrimp attack boss, known as the Fry, is a parody of the 1986 movie The Fly, starring Jeff Goldblum. The Haunted Well boss is a parody of Bancho Tsureishiki, a Japanese ghost story of broken trust and broken promises leading to a dismal fate. The last boss I'll mention is the Giant Caterpillar, which is possibly a reference to the famous horror manga artist Hideshi Hino's Bug Boy. The story is about a strange child obsessed with caterpillars who transforms into a caterpillar himself while in a bed much like the one in the game. A few other changes were also made to normal enemies. The in-game vampires were originally modeled after Dracula. The umpire enemies originally wore the Jason mask from Friday the 13th. And the ghosts were changed from Jiangshi, which are Chinese hopping vampires, because most Americans would not be familiar with them. This prototype was never released in Japan, and on May 26, 2001, it was listed on the Yahoo Japan auction, where it would sell for approximately $6,000. That's the story of Monster Party for the NES. It's a very unique game for its time, and I still consider it one of the more overlooked and underrated NES games. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. What's your thoughts on all the changes? Let me know in the comment section below. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to click the notification bell to keep up to date on my latest videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Rod here with Zivivi Entertainment. Before I get out of here, make sure to check out Digital Break for some awesome content creators. Digital Break is a 1-hour block on local TV that premiered in April. They are taking talented YouTube creators and airing their content on local TV. So make sure to follow and like their Facebook page. Thanks everyone, I'm out.